Excuse the AC going in the back. We're having that frost roll through. This is day 2. And luckily my pipes didn't freeze, but I'm out here checking the garden and the collard greens, super happy. The marigolds, not so much. Their poor little leaves are so tender, but it's okay. They were also infested with aphids, which is why I didn't clip them and bring them inside. But you can see that they're just starting to wilt from the cold. This one probably snapped in the wind. These, I mean, they still have aphids. I mean, there's a spider right there. Thank you. I may cut some of these just to dry them because they still smell so beautifully. The zinnia didn't stand a chance. Their leaves are pretty mushy right now. I was actually really surprised how well the beets held up. I'll probably today harvest the larger ones, kind of create a bit more space for some of the younger ones to continue growing. Some of the leaves are a little softer, like more flexible and pliable than I would like. But I think tonight's the last of the frost. The poor sunflower looks so depressed. And I keep finding Asian beetles and other little critters hanging out inside. But after tomorrow, it's going to start getting somewhat warmer again. I saw a bee flying around yesterday. So it's part of the reason why I wanted to leave some of the flowers out. The Brussels sprouts, man, has really taken off. It's really been thriving in this colder weather, but still not fruiting, which is okay. I don't eat Brussels sprout all that often, but I'm just happy to see that it's doing well. This is the Oregon pod peas. One is clearly doing much better than the other. We got some flowering action. We have this one pea that popped out. It's a little damaged from the frost, but I think it'll continue growing. We still have a flower coming through. Another flower right here. So the peas are still doing pretty well. The black-eyed peas, they're over it. They love the warm so much, but it's still putting out flowers. But I have a feeling that those are probably just gonna fall off because of this cold snap. But I let the pods dry on the vine so I can save them and replant them here in a couple months. The issue that I always have, or not always, is that I put these beds in at the end of summer, but the issue in this area is that it barely gets any sun in the fall and winter. And so the growth has been really slow. So in this bed, we have some carrots that a lot of the pests have kind of just decimated, but we still have some coming through. This cabbage, I planted these red cabbages back in, what was it, September, and they're not happy, and that's okay. This is Egyptian walking onion, and it's doing relatively well. Poor zinnia, not having it. I don't remember what these were. I think they might have been mint, but I honestly don't remember planting mint in this bed. But the carrots are doing pretty well. Got a little baby one coming through. And they've kind of just succession planted themselves, which I was pretty excited about. Rosemary, it's kind of overwintering itself, I suppose. Poor bell pepper. This, I'm really, really excited for this one. It is a mammoth pea, but as you can see, the pea kind of got a little iffy with the frost that came through. But we still have some flowers coming through, so fingers crossed that we actually get one that we can snack on. The broccoli doing super well. I did not thin them because this is kind of just like an experiment. I want to see how closely I can grow some. This one I may end up thinning out just because they're kind of looking a little sickly, but we'll see. Up here we have spearmint and chamomile. This is the first time I've been growing chamomile, so I don't know if it's ordinary for the chamomile to kind of just be a little floppy like this, or if this was from the freeze, because I honestly haven't really paid attention to it the last few weeks. I did harvest a bunch of the mint and threw it in the dehydrator for some tea. What I was really sad about a few weeks ago is that my mustard greens bolted. And I'm in Texas, so last week it was still in the 80s. So I am hoping that I can get some seeds from this one. We already have the little pod coming through. But I did start some more seeds in this bed. And you can see some of them coming through. The birds have planted some chickweed in here, which is okay. I accidentally left this bell pepper in here, and now it's rooted. I also need to reset the green onions at some point, because this is outrageous. I mean, this is almost as long as my arm. We also have a little bit more spinach coming through. The potato, I'm just gonna have to chop off the top, because that's so soft. It has so much bounce to it. It died. So I may later today or tomorrow try to see if any potatoes ended up growing. And then we have more spinach over here, but it's doing okay. I haven't really harvested that much of it because it has some pests or something, maybe powdery mildew. I don't know what this is. If you know what it is, feel free to comment, because it's just all over every single leaf. So I've been a little sketched out about eating it even after washing it off. This plant I have absolutely loved. It smells incredible. It is a chocolate mint. So as you can see, I have pretty much over harvested. I also took some cuttings and started another plant inside just in case this one gets wiped out. But I may end up moving it to the front so it does get some more sun and is able to thrive a little bit better. But what I really want to do today is harvest this here carrot. It was from the first round that I planted. It was pretty much the only one that came up. The rest of them, the pests got them. I'm in rural Texas, so we have a lot of hungry little critters. We had a couple more end up popping up, and I thought that I had even more, but it turned out just to be burrweed. And we still have some. We have a lot of weeds coming through and grasses and stuff, which is what it is. But I am allowing the clover and chickweed to continue growing. We have some Carolina geranium going on over here. I want to say I accidentally dropped some echinacea inside this brick, and this might be borage? I don't know. But I do also need to chip some more wood to mulch the rest of these beds and the beds in the front that are very not happy. I also need to prune the basil. This poor basil, I kind of just didn't do anything with it this year. I did harvest from it a few times. It did not do well with this frost that rolled through. So I'm going to go ahead with the basil or the seeds that dried already. I'm just going to add those to my collection and store them to maybe start another basil plant. But I do have other basil seeds that I want to try out. So I'm probably going to prune this one down. It's a little late in the year to do it, but whatever. I am really happy to see that the fig is still doing okay. I've been babying this one for, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years now. The other ones, I didn't repot this year. They ended up getting the rust fungus, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that they bounce back in the spring. But let's harvest this carrot. I have a feeling it's going to be super short because I just threw soil on top of the native soil and we have sandy loam. We'll see. Let's do it. All right. I've honestly never grown carrots before. Ziggy, this is a little bit of a one-person job, but I appreciate you. No carrots for you! Those are usually his treats, so he might think this is for him. Oh, this is gonna be a little one. The soil is so dense still. Oh, look how cute that is. It smells so good though. So I'll wash that off and eat it later. But I will need to work the soil a little bit more, get that mulch on so it stays nice and hydrated, and just keep feeding it some organic matter. It's so funny how stunted this is. Actually, I think these were the, what are they called? Nantes? The little fingerling carrots or whatever. So this might just be the size it was designed to be, but probably turn the greens into a pesto. Should be tasty. This is the first time I've grown potatoes in this way. I really there's maybe like, I don't know, 6 inches of soil in here. And the rest is just straw. But, so maybe I'll just take out the straw. See what's going on in there. And if it's still growing, we can just put the straw back, right? Is that logical thinking? I did just notice something that I'm not really pleased with. The gophers have made their way in, so I will have to harvest the radishes and the beets, or they will be helping themselves. So we'll do that later. But first, we're gonna harvest the potatoes. This has been in here since, I think, September, a few months. So far, nothing. Oh, so cute. They probably could have been left in here longer, but I don't think they would have really grown because of the frost and the freeze. Check it out. Got, these were they golden potatoes? They're not really ready yet. but there's a bunch of little ones in this cluster right here. I don't remember how many potatoes I put in here, to be honest. This one obviously rotted. That's a mushy mess, but I'm gonna take the rest of the straw out and see what all we got in here. Yeah, most of them kind of just rotted away. So basically, we got one potato. That's okay. That's okay. I don't eat potatoes that often, but the rest of this I'll probably just throw into compost because it's just mush, basically already compost. I think another one of the downsides is that planter doesn't drain very well. So that soil kind of went, what is it called? Anaerobic. It's not good looking, so maybe you won't throw it in the compost. All right, I found my mic, so maybe we won't hear the AC unit as aggressively. And I grabbed one of my baskets to harvest these beets and the radish. Let's get to it. All right, so the plan here, we're gonna get as many of the root vegetables up. I need to harvest the black-eyed pea pods. We'll probably end up trimming these to dry. And yeah, here we go. Some of these, I feel like can be left a little longer because they're just so little. Like, I'm not sure if I should have harvested this one, but I did. This one I'm excited about. It's not much bigger than that first one. The first round of beets I harvested were really, really lovely. And I think because we're not getting as much sunlight back here, they're just, not growing as much. That's okay. Yeah, some of these are just still so tiny. So we'll get the larger ones that I know we can munch on. Just little baby ones. I may end up peeling these and pickling them. These are a mix of Detroit red, Chiaggio, and one other one that I honestly don't remember. This is a really pretty one. So far, no gopher damage on any of them, which is nice to see. So maybe the gopher was just passing through. I think that may be all of the ones that we can harvest right now. Oh, look at this giant snail. That's a big one. We'll just, Yeah, I think that's it for these beets. Over here, I could take this one. Just a baby. Where I live, rust is a pretty big issue. So I don't eat the leaves that have rust on them. But the ones that don't, I do. Then I started a few more rows of beets over here, and a lot of the pests ended up getting them. We'll take this one. And then I for sure need to get the rest of these radish. These are watermelon radish. One of my friends, I gave him most of them and he threw them into a pickling brine. He said they were pretty tasty and he brought me some and it smelled like genuine pickle. So it's like I shouldn't be partaking in that. But maybe we'll try pickling our own and seeing how those are. I'd say this is a pretty decent haul. We don't really actually get winter here where I am in Texas, but I'd say they're pretty decent. We will probably just steam these and then pickle them and then do the radish separate. Okay, that is pretty much it for this video. It went on way longer than I was anticipating, but what to do. In the next video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all what it is I actually did with those beets, because I can tell you right now, we did not pickle them like I kept saying we would. I truly, truly love beets. I don't mind that earthy taste, but if you're in the crowd who doesn't like beets because they're so earthy, I promise you, you'll probably like them whenever they're just little babies. They're so much sweeter and they don't really have that earthy taste. So tune in next time for what we did with the beets. After that, I'll share with y'all how we preserved the radishes. And I'll just go ahead and tell you right now, we did end up harvesting the marigolds. So in a couple weeks, I'm going to share with y'all how it is that I dried them and how I use them. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you next time.